Hello and welcome to the first episode of Sean's review channel, and this is actually a long-term review of the DJI Osmo Pocket. I've owned the DJI Osmo Pocket for about 6 months now, and today I'm just going to share with you some of the things that are good, some of the things that are quite annoying with the DJI Osmo Pocket. So let's get started. To turn on the DJI Osmo Pocket, you just push this button. I'm pretty sure by now most people knows how to turn on the DJI Osmo Pocket with all the reviews online, things like that. DJI Osmo Pocket comes with two different types of connector. This is actually a Type-C one, which connects to my Android phone. Right, so basically what this contraption does is actually it's a video camera with a gimbal attached to it. So you can see that the gimbal is actually moving freely and stabilizing your shot. So it is a great alternative to mobile phones video. So there are tons of great features here. For example, you have 4K 60 frames per second. It shoots 1080 up to 60 frames as well. So you swipe and you can see that there's photo mode, there's video mode, slow motion, time lapse, and so on and so forth. Right, and if you go to a particular setting like video, you can see full 4K 16:9 ratio. You get up to 60 frames per second. And one of the things that are quite annoying with the DJI Osmo Pocket, of course, in bright, beautiful condition like today, the video 4K is gonna look absolutely perfect. But the problem is when it goes to low light, because number one, the sensor is pretty small, right? It's 1 2/3 inch, 2.3 inch. So it's really quite a small, slightly bigger than your regular cell phone sensor. So if we were to look at the exposure, and you can see if we go to manual mode, if I were to choose 100 ISO, this will be the most ideal. 200 will be still usable, and anything like 400, 800, 1600 and 3200 will be pushing it quite a little bit. Because if you don't connect this to your phone, it's quite hard to fiddle around with this in manual mode. If you were to film it like this, go around doing this, the best way is still to actually use auto, if you ask me, because you can't really see what's going on the screen, whether you're underexposing, overexposing. This is not the best screen for bright sunlight hitting on it. It becomes very washed out and you can't really see what's going on. With that said, usually if you film it like this, you will film it in full auto mode. Another way to use your Osmo Pocket is actually to use a mobile phone. I have the DJI Mimo app actually turned on. Push this in using the connector that was provided. Now it will turn into a really big viewfinder. This is where all the possible types of adjustments you can do. You can actually select 4K, 1080, the number of frames you want, 48, 30. Here, this is where you actually adjust your exposure. Of course, you have manual mode, which you can select all your different ISOs. 100 will be the ideal in this lighting condition. 100 may not be the perfect. So, and if you want to follow the 180 rule of videography, so I'm shooting at 4K 30 frames per second. My ideal shutter speed would be 1/60th of a second. You can see it slightly underexposed, and because this is a fixed aperture camera, you can't really make your aperture go bigger and have more light coming in. So the only option that you have now is actually to boost the ISO. So you can see if I were to put it to ISO 200, you can see that now the meter is slightly into its zero, which is good. But you can still use this shot, and you can actually make some adjustments in post-production, but ideally you want it at 0, right? So let's go 400. And you can see that now the scene looks much better in exposure. You can see that the histogram is beautifully in the center. Everything is exposing nicely. Oh, so this would be the ideal, but 400 ISO on the DJI Osmo Pocket, not such a good idea. So basically that's just a quick introduction on some of the things that is quite annoying with the DJI Osmo Pocket. Alright, thank you.
Here I am, know it's been a while. I was in denial about my love. Here I stand, I know I walked away. Had to find the person I'd become. You should go back home, go back home, go back home, go. Just been there all along. You should go back home, go back home.